Hey Falcon fans, I'm Thomas Mott. Welcome into today's video. Let's get into the latest Atlanta Falcons news and rumors. And we talk a lot about Julio Jones on the channel, and I understand that because it's like the biggest story in the ATL right now. Trust me, I live in Atlanta. But there was some new reporting from ESPN's Dianni Russini yesterday that is very game-changing in the current state of the Julio Jones saga. Let's just call it that. So let's jump right into it. So there's a report from ESPN that the Falcons have had several recent trade offers for Julio Jones, and one at least of the trade offers includes a first-round draft pick in 2022, which is like, whoa, that's a pretty big offer, right? And now there's also a report from Harry Douglas of 92.9 The Game, the former Falcon, who also said that their relationship has been fractured and deteriorating for years between Julio Jones and the Atlanta Falcons. That's also like, oh, okay, that's interesting. And then Dianni Russini also followed up by saying the trade could come as early as next week, meaning like next week is in a couple of days from now. So I think we're getting close to this officially being over in terms of where he's going to be traded, because we all understand he will go ahead and be traded. All right. First off, the Russini tweet, and this comes again, she talked on Get Up, and so it was all over SportsCenter, but she tweeted this one out, quote, the Atlanta Falcons have discussed several trade offers for Julio Jones, including an offer for a future first-round draft pick, per sources. There is a sense around the league a trade could go down as early as next week, end quote. All right, well, before I give you my thoughts on that, let me ask you this. Would you take a first-round draft pick for Julio Jones? I mean, duh. I mean, I would. I don't know how they haven't taken a first-round draft pick if that's been the offer, but apparently that's the offer, and they have not accepted it yet. So let me ask you guys this again. Would you take a first-round draft pick for Julio Jones? Y down below for yes and down below for no. Now, it's so weird that she would say this, and I trust Dianni Russini. She's a very good reporter, but why haven't they accepted the first? Like, if a team is truly given a first and offered, said, hey, we'll give you a first-round draft pick for Julio Jones, why have you not taken that? Like, apparently they were trying to get a first before the draft, and no one would offer a first, but now you have your first, and they still haven't traded him. So it's very strange that they would potentially have this offer and not accept it. Now, let's say this. Happens all the time. Football teams will leak stuff to reporters. Reporters will report it because they have good sources and they hear the truth. But in reality, it's just the Atlanta Falcons pretending like they've gotten a first-round draft pick in order to hopefully spike the value of Julio Jones. That way, if you're a football team like the Patriots, you've offered a second. Then Dianni Russini says, well, other teams offer a first. You go, oh, shoot, like we're being outbid. Now we got to offer a first. So this happens a lot in the National Football League. Happens a lot during the draft, too. A lot of smoke screens are thrown out there. I would not be surprised if this is a not false reporting from Dianni Russini, because she's reporting what she's heard, but false reporting by the person who told Dianni Russini that all circles back to the Falcons in order to hopefully raise the overall price of a Julio Jones. Because again, if you've been offered a first-round draft pick for Julio Jones and you have not accepted it, what are you doing if you're Atlanta? You heard him on Undisputed with Skip and Shannon. Like, he does not want to be there. So if you don't want to be here, get out of here, leave. Sorry, but let's get some great return in there. And a first-round draft pick is way better than a third or a fourth or a fifth, as has been reported over the past couple of days. Now, over onto the deteriorating relationship side of things, we go to a quote via Harry Douglas on 92.9 The Game, who's being interviewed a couple of days ago, and I happen to know Harry Douglas personally, and so this is, I believe, I'll say this is all true coming from Harry Douglas. Quote, what's going to happen? Julio's not going to play in Atlanta. Hugh, and that's the person who's interviewing him, Hugh Douglas on 92.9, it's so crazy because when you say, where do we go wrong, man, I can tell you so many things, but it's not my place. I know the X factor as to where it went wrong, end quote. That again from Harry Douglas, who was a former teammate of Julio Jones and is buddies with Julio Jones. I mean, he was a slot receiver during some very good years in Atlanta and is still very connected with the Falcons organization, does some work for them as well, but obviously he's being mum on that because he's still kind of connected with the Falcons organization, done some interviews with them during the draft and with Arthur Smith, his former coach at Tennessee. Now, this all tells me, let's put a bow on it, Julio will be traded very soon. And maybe by the time you're watching this, he's already been traded because we're filming it here on a Friday. We're hopefully posting it out on a Friday. Maybe tomorrow you find this video and it's too late. Like the video is already irrelevant because he's been traded. If that happens, obviously we'll cover it here on the channel. But it's important to note, and I think it's important to be ready as a Falcon fan that this is coming, and it's coming quick. And I think the best hope and the best case scenario for Falcon fans is that you get the first-round draft pick. And whether it's New England's first next year, or the Titans' first next year, or Philadelphia's first next year, or the Niners, we don't have a first next year, but the Niners' first, I guess, in 2023, like whatever it is, getting a first for Julio Jones, there are a lot worse packages you could possibly have, and taking a first-round draft pick is, to me, a win for the Falcons and a great end to what has been a very dramatic offseason regarding Julio Jones. Drop a like if you guys agree. Like, a Julio Jones trade is coming soon, and I think we all can feel it and sense it coming. If you guys agree, drop a like down below because, say it again, it's going to happen. It's going to happen here pretty quick. Okay, I want to give a quick shout out to our subscribers who have subscribed here on the channel, as we are so close to 2,500 subs on what hopefully is going to become the best and fastest growing Falcons channel on YouTube. That's my goal here, and hopefully you guys are going to be along for the ride. If you're one of the early subscribers, I appreciate you. If you're brand new and just want to get up to date and follow a very short, condensed version of the latest Falcons news and rumors, 10-minute video here and there, that's our goal, is to get you guys everything quick and concise. If you like the video, subscribe down below. We would greatly appreciate it. Okay, I want to go over here to some more Falcons discussion and more Falcons, let's call it news, but it's an interesting conversation that was had from a new defensive coordinator, Dean Pease, on 92.9 The Game in Atlanta on Wednesday. So he went on with Dukes and Bell, I believe, on Wednesday, and it was a good overall interview, but he they asked some good questions in terms of his plan for the pass rush. And listen, we talked about it a lot. The Falcons did not address the pass rush this offseason, minus Taquan Graham, the UT guy in like the 5th or 6th round. Like, they didn't go out and get a starter, ready-to-rock pass rusher. They're going to keep, Grady Jarrett's on there. He still rushes the passer. Dante Fowler hopefully is going to be healthy this year. And then Marlon Davidson. Like, it's very quiet in terms of the fact that Atlanta didn't do much this offseason. But Pease seemed to be very confident in the group of guys that he has. Here's what he said to Dukes and Bell via 92.9 The Game. Quote, "We heard the same thing when we went to Tennessee. We have no pass rush, and yet we were a good third down defense and got a lot of pressure. We need smart guys, and we got smart guys. We're going to come from everywhere every week, so hang on," end quote. He would also go on to say that they're going to be blitzing a lot in Atlanta, which they did done a decent amount the past couple of years, but not enough to really make an impact in terms of getting after the quarterback. Now, you listen to what Pease says, and you say, okay, that sounds good, but then you see the depth chart, which you see on your screen right now, and you go, okay, we've got good guys, we've got smart guys, we're going to come from everywhere. I don't see any great guys in this defensive line besides Grady Jarrett. Like, are we hoping Marlon Davidson is going to be good in year 2? I guess. Are we hoping Dante Fowler is going to be not be a shell of himself and be what he was at some point with the Rams? I guess. Like, this is not a defensive line that should scare anybody. And so, Pease is going to have to, put his money where his mouth is and really get to work. He has his work cut out to make this defensive line good. And maybe it doesn't have to be top 10 in sacks. I think it needs to be top 15, though, overall. I think the defense has got to get to a point where they can be reliable enough to get stops in order to give the ball back to Matt Ryan, Kyle Pitts, and Calvin Ridley, because Julio Jones is not going to be there. So it's an offense that obviously can score, but it's a defense that's going to need to go ahead and get stops, or else it's going to be a scenario where the Falcons score 27 points a game, but they give up 31 points a game, and so they lose, right? That's how math works. So we'll see. I think Pease has a lot. I'm not saying he's bit off more than he can chew. He's a very, very smart defensive coordinator, and he's right. He fixed Tennessee with very little pass rush help there. You can't really name a Tennessee Titan pass rush over the past couple of years, unless I'm not being able to think of one. They had Clowney, but Clowney was injured and didn't do much. So a lot of work cut out for him, but I think in Pease we trust is the new current slogan in the ATL. At least I'm making that up in terms of hoping the defense is going to be pretty darn good. Answer this question for me down below. Will the Falcons have a top 15 defense in 2021? If you think they will, type 1 down below for yes. If you think they won't, type 0 down below for no. All right, ultimate for today here on Atlanta Falcons Today. Again, getting out in the final news video of the week. We'll come back on Monday with plenty more updates. And I'm telling you, if a Julio Jones trade happens, we'll have you guys covered. Like, we will be ready to rock if it were to happen. And so make sure you guys are subscribed, because we are going to be on Julio Jones watch between now and until it happens. And Russini said it's going to happen here pretty soon. And so stay tuned and stay subscribed here on the channel. Ultimate for today here on Atlanta Falcons Today. I'm your host, Thomas Mott, signing off the rest of your day.